So it's kind of
Right.
hard to pinpoint some sort of piece of equipment, I would think, to get that. And they've come way farther than I would have ever been able to come with paranology stuff and with digital dowsing. The SLS was amazing at Floss. And, I mean, when people see Spirit Quest, they'll see what I'm saying. But what we captured with all that stuff is been just nuts. And, I mean, we went to the Nut Hotel, and with the PSB 11 through the portal, which, the portal kind of cleans it up. It gets rid of a lot of crap, and you hear actual clear responses. And we heard someone yelling Mabel, and when our researcher, Georgina, looked it up, boom, there's a Mabel connected to the Nut Hotel. And
wow.
that right there is, that's been pretty amazing. And so, and when we went to McKinney, the McKinney place that you guys, and then we're going to talk about that now too, is TexPart does a lot of public investigations, and I was asked to go speak at one of them, and it was really cool because we got to go and investigate all the little village that's there. It's kind of like all these older houses that have actually been brought to this area, Chestnut Square. Is that not correct? That's what it's called, right?
Yeah, it's Chestnut Square Historic Village, yeah.
And y'all do public events. And why don't you tell them a little bit about, your events that you have there? And I know you're fixing to have a big one. We're going to talk about the zombie walk, too. So go ahead and...
Yeah. Well, our events at Chestnut Square, we've kind of actually... The last... actually, I think the last one we had at Chestnut Square was probably in April when you were there, because we've had so much going on our calendar. We haven't been able to get anything scheduled out there. I think starting at the beginning of the year of 2016, we're going to start up our Ghost Hunting 101 class and investigation at Chestnut Square Historic Village in McKinney. And we'll basically take you through a few of the historic houses there. And it's really a good, safe environment for anyone who is not experienced. It's kind of I would say it's a controlled location.
It's a hands-on type investigation type
it
learning
really is.
Learning session. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, we show you a few. We show you how some of the gadgets work, how some of the equipment works, and we get out there and we. Pretty much any of our guests that want to strap on a recorder and try to get EVPs, they can do that. And we have recorders that we check out to our guests, and they can come in and we will lead them on an actual investigation, so they can see some of the equipment and how things work, how we do things, and all of that. So
it's not like it's on TV. They really understand. It is not how you see it on TV, and we stressed that to them that night. But the locations are so cool. The houses that they have gathered there together in that little Chestnut Square is really, really quaint, and it has a lot of history all brought into that one area. So there's all kinds of activity in that place. So that's really cool for public investigation, and what a gold mine for an actual team to have. The offer, to do that by a city. That's pretty good. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and another great part about it is, the spirits there at Chestnut Square, of course, we've been there so much, they know us. So they're not afraid. Most of them are not afraid to come out and give us a little activity and talk to us and everything like that. Sometimes you'll get, there's one or two that don't want us being in there. They never want us in there. And so they go hide and whatnot. Every once in a while they'll tell us to get out. But other than that, it's like the spirits are used to us. They know us there, and they know we bring other guests in. So they it's not like a trick show or anything, but they do become active for us. Because
they probably get lonely too. They probably get lonely too, and you do develop a type of a relationship if you keep going back to a location over and over and over, and they do know who you are, and you'll find on your EVPs they'll be saying your name, which is a whole nother ball game. But on these investigations, and we're going to get back to the zombie walk here in a little bit to let everybody know about that. But when we go on investigations, a lot of times people think that we aren't as spiritual as we are. They have no idea that we pray probably more than the average bear. And
yeah, we do.
A lot of us are probably weighted down with about 5 to 10 pounds of protective stones and crystals and minerals and, mojo bags and whatever to keep anything negative and not of love and light away from us. Now, that's where we get into your company.
Yeah.
Starshine, man, Innovations.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, that you make some really cool stuff. And, I wear my necklace all the time,
Yeah, I've got a couple of them that I wear all the time as well. It's Starshine Innovations. You can find it on Facebook at Starshine Innovations. I also have an Etsy page, Etsy shop, where I'm selling a lot of my necklaces, earrings, bracelets, and other jewelry. I do custom orders as well. They're all made. Everything's made of natural gemstones and crystals. So each one has certain properties for it, for protection, for love and light, and all different sorts of things. And I do cleanse and charge all of my stones before I ship them out, so they're ready to go for you and ready to work for you.
Wow, that's cool, because see, that's the part where I got a real good deal. Let me say, I went down and had a weekend just chill out, do nothing but relax, because my schedule's fixing to get just plumb ass crazy. And yeah, bad. And so I went to this little flea market down in Schertz, Texas, and I got a box of crystals for $5. And I'm
really?
like, the first thing that I thought of was, I'm going to give these to Jason and see what he can't make me out of these bad boys. I'm telling you, they're really cool.
Hey, yeah, you know who to go to.
That's right. You were the first one on my mind. And so they look like things that they look like they can be used for pendulums or actual pendants on necklaces or whatever. They're really cool. And I've got like a little clear plastic box of them for $5. And I'm like, that is nuts. I can't believe this. So you're going to have to check them out and make sure they're all legit. But for $5, I figured I wasn't losing too much on that. But we were going to talk about protection on investigations. And what I was going to ask you is, a lot of people always ask me, what kind of stones do you use? Because I'm an empath. So what kind of stones, say, would you give an empath to protect them on investigations from stuff overwhelming them or whatever?
Yeah. Well, for an empath, I think the best stone that I would get for an empath going on an investigation for protection would be a blue gold stone. It's a man-made stone, but it is made with very small pieces of copper, which gives it a real good sparkle. But with it being blue and associated with your throat chakra and your crown chakra and everything, it actually will keep you protected. I would also put with that any black stone like jet, obsidian, Apache tiered, tourmaline, anything like that. Your black stones are going to be your high vibration protection stones.
Right.
Those are also those work within your root chakra to keep you grounded. So that will ground you as well and keep you protected.
That's another thing. a lot of your, I was going to ask, a lot of your cases, are they reporting a lot more of maybe possible demonic activity? Have you seen a spike in that now lately, or just that? Have you seen?
Yes,
yeah.
yes, I have. As a matter of fact, we just finished up a private case this past weekend, where we used the portal and we got some very interesting things out of the portal, and we also had our priest that we use, Father Wesley, there with us, and did a complete house blessing and deliverance on the house. And the next day, the family sent us an email and said that there is a world of difference between day and night.
Well, that's great, but what trips me out is, there was this thing where it was so really, it may not be demonic, and I'm going to say this, that I would say that people jump to the demonic thing, but it may just be a very pissed off, unhappy, unrested soul. And, and if they are cranky in life, they're going to be an ass in death as well. So top that off with some of them not understanding they're even gone and being upset about it, and no one can understand what's going on. So they're trying to get someone's attention. They always go to, oh shit, it's demonic. And it's not, but the house cleansing, the house, clearing, the deliverance of the house, that's always a good thing, because, a lot of times, and I know you probably noticed this also in cases where it doesn't really have to do with the house itself. It's the property that they built the home on.
And
Native
I've
American
also...
spirits get pissed,
Oh, yeah, the Native American spirits they do get quite upset.
Yeah. You gotta do some offering stuff to them. And what kind of things do you do as far as with crystals? I mean, I know there's some sort of a ritual that's done where you put some sort of a stone at each corner of the property. Now, is that not a quartz? Is that not just the clear crystal quartz?
Well, there's actually different stones you can use.
Okay.
One thing I would use, especially if there's a negative entity, not necessarily demonic, but just something that's negative, angry, or whatnot, I would put either a obsidian or tourmaline stone with a quartz point facing away from the house.
Okay.
In each at the four corners. That tourmaline is going to draw out the negative energy and absorb all the negative energy. The quartz, being an amplifier, is going to amplify and change that negative energy into light and push negative energy away from the house.
Okay. Well, because we've been working on a case. I've been assisting on a case that some crazy things have happened. And, of course, it being private, I'm not going to, divulge any of that information, but there's just weird things that are happening around the home. And, we tried the old sage and the old holy water thing, and that didn't quite appease whatever is there. And so we're going to try to do two other things, which brings in the priest and a shaman. We're going to cover all of our bases, so to speak, because we want this family to be at peace, and I know they know what they're doing. But until the people can be scheduled again, they rescheduled. I just want to have some sort of a protection, that we can give them to maybe relieve some of the stuff that's going on until we can actually clear it completely. It's hard to get a big, huge team together with everything that needs to be done on this case. So we have to do it, and we're going to cover all bases. So, it has been on the rise, but I just wondered why. What are your thoughts? Why do you think Is it? You think it's because of the media, because of the movies, or